The F-22 Raptor. It's one of the most powerful fighter jets ever built. Faster than the speed of sound without even using its afterburners. Nearly invisible to radar. And absolutely unmatched in air-to-air combat. So here's the mystery. Despite having close allies, despite billions of dollars in interest, despite decades of requests, the United States has never sold a single F-22 Raptor to any other country. Not to Japan, not to Israel, not even to its closest NATO allies. Why? Today, we're breaking down the real reasons, political, technological, and strategic, behind America's most closely guarded aircraft. To understand why the F-22 is not for sale, you first have to understand that the F-22 is not just another jet, it's a strategic advantage. It was designed during the final years of the Cold War, with one purpose: to dominate the skies before the enemy even knows it's there. Its key abilities are legendary. It has supercruise, allowing it to fly faster than Mach 1.5 without the fuel-guzzling afterburners that other jets need. Its stealth is so advanced it's often compared to a steel marble on enemy radar screens. It has advanced sensor fusion, which means it gathers information from all its systems and presents it to the pilot in one easy-to-understand picture of the battlefield. And its air-to-air combat dominance has never been matched by any other fighter jet in service. For the United States, the F-22 isn't just a piece of equipment, it's an insurance policy. It's the ace up their sleeve, guaranteeing that in any conflict, American pilots will own the sky. Selling it would be like giving away the keys to the kingdom. Now, the biggest and most straightforward reason the F-22 was never exported is surprisingly simple. It's illegal. Back in 1998, the U.S. Congress passed a law known as the Obey Amendment, which explicitly banned the export of the F-22 Raptor. Lawmakers were deeply concerned that the jet's revolutionary technology could fall into the wrong hands. We're talking about its advanced stealth materials, the radar-absorbing coatings, and the classified software that runs the entire system. They feared it could eventually be copied, leaked, or reverse-engineered by a rival power. Even the closest allies, like Japan or Australia, were considered a risk. This wasn't because of a lack of trust in their allies, but because of a fundamental reality. Technology spreads. Espionage is real. And once a top-secret technology is out in the wild, it can never be taken back. The potential for a future adversary to get their hands on even a small piece of the F-22's secrets was a risk the U.S. was simply unwilling to take. So they locked it down with a law. Let's dive deeper into that technology, because the stealth on the F-22 is far more than just its sleek shape. It's a complex, multi-layered system that remains one of the most classified aspects of the U.S. military. It involves special radar-absorbent materials and coatings that are baked into the skin of the aircraft. It includes incredibly sophisticated electronic warfare systems that can jam enemy signals and create a bubble of electronic invisibility around the jet. And it's powered by software that is a generation ahead of its time, fusing data from multiple sensors to decide what the pilot sees long before the pilot could ever see it for themselves. This technology, even decades after it was developed, remains more advanced than many systems still in service around the world today. So selling the F-22 would mean sharing these crown jewels of military tech. It would mean revealing top-tier stealth secrets, exposing highly sensitive electronic warfare capabilities, and risking that this knowledge could eventually make its way to adversaries like China or Russia. Even a single compromised jet, whether through espionage, a crash in hostile territory, or an ally's security breach, could potentially undermine America's air dominance for decades to come. The risk was just too high. Beyond the secrecy and the law, there's a very practical reason the F-22 never found an international buyer. It is ridiculously expensive. The F-22 is one of the most expensive fighter jets ever built. When it was in production, each aircraft cost over $150 million, and that's just the sticker price. The maintenance costs are astronomical. The specialized stealth coatings require climate-controlled hangars and hours of work by highly trained technicians after every single flight. It needs its own unique infrastructure and a massive logistics train to keep it flying. Now, imagine creating an export version. You couldn't just sell the American version off the shelf due to the classified tech. You would have to create a stripped-down model, which means designing new systems, setting up separate production lines, and creating entirely new logistics chains for the buyer. By the time you do all that, the cost becomes completely unmanageable. Even close allies like Japan, who desperately wanted the F-22, took one look at the potential price tag and decided it was simply too expensive to justify. Adding to all these factors is another simple reality: they don't make them anymore. In 2011, the United States officially shut down the F-22 production line for good. In the end, only 187 operational aircraft were ever built, a fraction of the original plan for over 700 jets. So why did they stop? Well, the world had changed. The Cold War, which was the entire reason for the F-22's existence, was over. The massive Soviet Air Force it was designed to fight no longer existed. At the same time, military budgets were shifting. The focus moved away from a single-purpose air dominance fighter towards more versatile, multi-role jets that could handle a wider variety of missions, like the F-35. The cost of the F-22 program was also a major factor. There have been talks about restarting the production line, but studies showed it would cost billions of dollars just to get the factory and supply chain running again. The US decided that money would be better spent investing in the next generation of fighters. So, even if they wanted to sell it today, there are no new F-22s to sell. So if allies couldn't buy the F-22, what was the alternative? The answer is the F-35 Lightning II. Instead of selling its top-tier air superiority fighter, the US developed and offered the F-35 as the premier fifth-generation jet for its partners around the world. Why was this a better solution for everyone? First, the F-35 was designed from the ground up to be an export aircraft. Its technology, while advanced, was designed to be shareable without compromising America's most critical secrets. Second, it can be customized for different allies, with different software and weapons packages. This allows countries to tailor the jet to their specific needs. Third, the F-35 program is built on a global partnership. Allies who buy the F-35 also share logistics, maintenance hubs, and intelligence networks, which strengthens the entire alliance. The F-22 remained exclusive, the untouchable king of air-to-air combat. The F-35 became the global workhorse connecting allied air forces together. This strategy allowed the US to protect its core secrets while still providing its allies with a cutting-edge fifth-generation capability. And that brings us to the final and perhaps most important reason: strategic control. By keeping the F-22 exclusively in American hands, the United States ensures that it, and only it, possesses the world's most dominant air-to-air fighter. This gives the U.S. military a definitive edge in any potential conflict. It means that air superiority, the ability to control the skies in a war zone, remains firmly under U.S. command. No other country, not even a close ally, can match it. This isn't about mistrust, it's about maintaining a strategic balance. In a future conflict, the US doesn't want to risk a scenario where its own top technology could be used against it, or where an ally's F-22s could complicate a command structure. The F-22 is more than just a weapon, it's a powerful instrument of national policy. It's a deterrent, signaling to any potential adversary that challenging the US in the air is a losing proposition. The F-22 was never meant to be a product for sale. It was built to be a statement of power. So, to wrap it all up, why has the US never sold the F-22 Raptor? The reasons are layered and complex. First, it's legally restricted by a specific act of Congress designed to protect its secrets. Second, its technology, particularly its stealth and software, is considered too sensitive to ever risk exporting. Or where an ally's F-22s could complicate a command structure. The F-22 is more than just a weapon. It's a powerful instrument of national policy. It's a deterrent, signaling to any potential adversary that challenging the US in the air is a losing proposition. The F-22 was never meant to be a product for sale. It was built to be a statement of power. So, to wrap it all up, why has the US never sold the F-22 Raptor? The reasons are layered and complex. First, it's legally restricted by a specific act of Congress designed to protect its secrets. Second, its technology, particularly its stealth and software, is considered too sensitive to ever risk exporting. Third, it's extremely expensive to buy and even more expensive to maintain. Fourth, the production line was shut down over a decade ago, and there are no new ones to sell. And finally, it's strategically too important to share, serving as the ultimate guarantee of American air superiority. The F-22 isn't just a jet, it's a statement. And some advantages are simply too valuable to export. If you enjoyed this breakdown of America's most exclusive fighter, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Should the US ever consider exporting its most advanced fighters in the future? Or should the best technology always be kept exclusive? Thanks for watching.